Evening all, welcome to challenging missions. You're going to see a lot of pain, you're going to see a lot of teamwork, but you're going to see something pretty awesome, so stay tuned. This is, I forget the mission name, Lexington Event Center, I think, and it's, I mean, these challenge missions, I'm choking up with rage just thinking about how annoying they are, but they're actually brilliant as well. Let me explain. I have never played anything as challenging as I get rushed by a goddamn shotgunner again. I've never played anything as challenging as this particular slew of missions that are set to challenging, because they're just so difficult. Literally, since I played the shareware game titled "This Game is Impossible, Don't Try and Complete It," I can't. It's just unbelievable. We've been running these missions, and let me tell you why they have their own video of their own, because there is something incredibly special about running just the regular missions on challenging, because firstly, everything is incredibly difficult to kill. Secondly, they can kill you very easily. So the word challenging means challenging. And I just think the simple fact that they take about 2 hours for us, because we're noobs, lol. No, it takes about 2 hours because, you know, there's a lot of finding out which equipment to use. You've got to wait for your specials to maybe be ready for certain events. It is probably the most challenging gameplay I've ever seen, and I just think it's awesome. This to me sells the game even more than the Dark Zone, because yes, the Dark Zone's fun, but it has nothing like this. And I think challenging missions are just something wonderful to do, because you've really got to play as a team. You've got to be incredibly on the ball. You've got to have just trust in your brosefs that stuff's going to happen. So this, and I'm kind of getting all excited and giddy and girly about it, because just simply these missions have just been incredible. And this was the first one we did, the Lexington Event Center, which obviously features at the end the Barrett, where you get to kill that horrible murdering kind of torturous bitch. And I make no apologies for using the B word, because she is a bit of a bitch. And I'm glad we kill her in the end, and I actually get to sink bullets into her, which sounds a bit wrong. Anyway, and I think generally this has been one of the most beautiful things of the game for me so far. Yes, the Dark Zone's fun. Yes, you can do an awful lot with it. But I guess the Dark Zone does get quite frantic like this, because there are level 32s in the Dark Zone, but this required that kind of massive team play element that the Dark Zone I don't think has. Yes, obviously you do fight within the dark. Look at the guy with the bin on his head. Never noticed that before. And I think this kind of just makes the game even harder. But it makes it more ultimately rewarding, because I think, to be honest, the rewards you get are fantastic. And let's just talk about that. So where am I in the game? Well, you see here, I'm probably at the beginning. This is when I've just about hit level 30. Where I am now is pretty much all gold, except maybe a pair of gloves, just because the pair I found was purple is better. I've got gold guns. I made the Vector 45 ACP blueprint, so I used 154 Phoenix credits to purchase that. Oh god, look, shotgunners. Oh god, when that moment when somebody yells over comms, shotgunners, the fear, the liquid fear that comes with it is just wonderful. I do absolutely adore these challenge modes. They're so difficult. Anyway, so I made that gun, the Vector ACR. Apparently, now I'm told by Lieutenant Cyrex that it's actually one of the better guns in the game, if not one of the best, now that the Midas has been removed. So the Midas was that SMG, which every kind of kill you got did a huge amount of healing damage and healing benefit to you. So, you know, I think it was a bit broken. Anyway, so I think that seems to be a good gun. I'm quite liking it. Although I would say having one of each gun in your backpack is needed for these challenging missions, because you run out of ammo, and it just helps to have an LMG. It just helps to have you know, an assault rifle. And I think my assault rifle here is probably the best gun I've found so far, but I don't use it anymore just because it's not as high a damage as I can get. But once I can find a police M4 or a lightweight M4, what I would recommend, and this is just what I did, I put huge rate of fire mods on it, huge magazine increase mods on it, and I put huge stability mods on it. And this thing became like a heavy hitting SMG. So just a word to the wise, that was quite a nice gun, and I think it's probably the best gun I've found so far. The Vector ACPR, whatever it's called, is pretty good. I think I can get 37 rounds out of it, and it's incredibly stable. It just, you know, it just is good. But Even with 37, its rate of fire is so huge that basically you're going bah, reload, bah, 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 reload, and I just think that gets a bit tiresome. What I would suggest that I did find that you're all going to know, and you're all going to laugh at me now, so get ready to laugh at Paul Pyrex, is having a light machine gun on hand is useful in the gang because you can suppress dudes, and that does help a lot when you're doing flanky flanks, because these missions require you to really have tactics on the go. So as you can see here, we're using different equipment, we're healing each other as we go. There's always that consideration that we have to pick a dude up. The damage we get hit for is so huge because none of us at this point had any gold armor, I don't think. So literally we were like purple dudes at this point, and this is why I think it was such a challenging mission. But there was one bit, and I've not got footage for it, so I do apologize, but in the middle bit where you're fighting on the rooftop terrace, it took us about 5, 6, 7 attempts to figure out how to do it. We just got wiped out because you come out of a lift, there's nowhere to retreat to. So here we have the ability to retreat downstairs, and we can obviously then just kite them. But this particular part of the mission that I don't have footage for, I do apologise, basically we didn't have anything, so it's just us dying over and over. But of course you don't want to see that, do you? Anyway, so generally I'm just amazed at how challenging the challenging missions are, which is obviously a stupid thing to say, but there we go. I mean, look at this. We're all terrified of this light machine gunner. We're ready to fire our specials. We use the specials like crazy, and I must admit that's working out quite well. We basically have a mixture of the damage one and the armor one. So you know, yesterday we were doing even more challenging missions, which you'll see footage soon. And there we go. So we've just hit our specials. You see there we're doing a fair bit of damage to this dude now. It was just something that you just had to do on a time basis. Look at this. We're just getting as much damage down. Boosh. Right, there he goes. Revive the dudes, and then we're off again. So I must admit, this was just such a tactical joy. It really was. So, fast forward. Now, we fought our way through the rest of the map. There was lots of shotgun alley sort of footage that I lost because I'm an idiot. It's funny because the PlayStation share thing is very good, but sometimes it does crap out. So I don't know what happened there, but there we go. And this is pretty much us taking on Larry Barrett. Now, I've got to admit, this was amazing fun, but the amount of grenade spam that you're probably going to witness now is unbelievable. Look at all this. Look at all the grenade spam right going on there. Now, the thing is, some of it's flashbangs, which we have resistances for, but the vast majority of it is grenades that will one-shot us. Now, as you can imagine, being one-shot by a grenade is quite annoying, so this is where I think the challenge of the game becomes so apparent because it is really, really tough. Fun fact though, we learned that, I mean, when I looked at all the abilities, and you've probably done this yourself, you've probably not even looked at the ones like the tear gas seeker drones or the flashbang remote explosive. I mean, come on, why would you use them? Because that's for girls, right? Well, I've got to admit, they saved our bacon on this one, because what we were able to do was use these seeker drones to actually, I keep calling it flux. That's my old Dust days coming to play here. I'm like, flux the enemy, flux, and I think everyone's thinking, what are you on about? But by flux, I mean kind of, I don't know, incapacitate, disorient, whatever. Use your kind of flashbangs et al. Against dudes. And I must admit that has been probably one of the things that's kept us going on these challenge missions, is that when we need to, we can use grenades, or we can use things that disorient the enemy so that they're not grenading us endlessly like you see here. And look at that, one grenade, that's all it took, one flipping grenade, and it downed us. This is a challenge like no other, and I do absolutely love it. Now, some of the missions we've tried have been so difficult that we've not even got through the front door. The Russian embassy springs to mind. So the Russian embassy on challenging, well, have we no, we haven't done that on challenging yet. The only reason I say it because it's just shotgunners, and let me just kind of start a new topic now. Rikers are bloody annoying, but I think they've got to be probably the best thing. They've got to be the best faction in terms of how good they are. Because they just have the heavy machine gunner or the light machine gunner, you know, the big dude. They have then grenaders, they have then snipers, they have the shotgun rushers. My God, they're deadly, and so on. So they just seem to have the right cocktail of death. Whereas if you look at the cleaners have the big heavy dudes, you know, the really slow ones that you have to kind of really, you know, pile into. But I wouldn't say they're terribly scary. I don't know. And they have then the axe dudes, which aren't terribly, you know, they're the rush characters, the axe dudes, right? But I wouldn't say they're actually that difficult to fight. Whereas I think Last Man Battalion are just annoying, but I wouldn't say that they also have that. Well, having said that, they do have shotgun rushers, but you don't see them that much. We've done a lot of missions now, and the shotgun rushers aren't necessarily always there. But I could be wrong. Post in the comments. Tell me who you prefer to fight. Myself, I prefer to fight the cleaners. Not because they're easy, but well, they are kind of a little bit easy, but I prefer to fight the shotgunners just because, and look at this, she's got herself in a corner here, so I'm going to exploit the situation quite nicely. But basically, I think the cleaners are the most fun to fight because I just think they're the most interesting. The Rikers, I think, were a bit boring, really. I mean, yes, they're a convict army, but that's not terribly interesting, really, when you think about it, is it? It's not. I don't know, maybe it's just because they didn't do it terribly well. I think it would have been a bit more interesting if they'd have had a bit more story behind them. Laree Barrett and all that. I mean, look at that, just got wiped out. Laree Barrett wasn't a terribly interesting leader, whereas, the John Farrow was. He was interesting because he was kind of a nutter, but not. He actually had his head screwed on, but he was also a complete psychopath who wanted to burn people alive. So, swings and roundabouts, but either way, I do honestly think that the Rikers are quite annoying to fight, and they seem to be generally the most numerous who we do fight. Now, the other group that we haven't spoken about is the Rioters, and I thought the Rioters were just easy peasy, but we fought them last night. Oh my god, they're annoying. They just rush you. Oh my god, seriously, the guys with golf clubs, really annoying. Anyway, look, so we just popped a special, gives us 80% armor, and we're just going to do this to take Laree down because she's becoming very annoying with her kind of grenade spam or whatever it is she's doing. Boom, bitch, down you go. Nice. So basically, this is now a mop-up mission, and it represented about 2.5 hours of play. We were at this point very tired. I needed ammo for every gun continually, and we swapped guns out pretty much continually as well. But the thing is, I would say, get yourself some brosefs, go and play these missions in a group of 4, use proper squad comms, really think about what you're doing, and you will enjoy one of the most tactical experiences I think certainly I've ever played. If I played Arma 2 or something like that, I probably would have much more appreciation for the tactical thing, but I don't, because I'm not a dad from Essex who wants to play something on a Sunday morning. I actually do want to play proper games. Oh, that was a bit rude, wasn't it? Anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, this has been probably one of the most tactical things we've done ever on this channel. This is why it's quite surprising, because I would almost say it's kind of done right, dare I say. So I would just, personally, I think this is really a great example of what this game can do. You don't want to play missions over and over, and I do agree, because that was what kind of annoyed me about Destiny, if I'm honest. That really did annoy me about Destiny, but for me, this is something nice to do once you've maybe got a good gun, or maybe you've got some stuff. The daily bonuses are kind of nice because you can just run the hard missions. You don't have to run the super hard missions, the challenging missions. So that's also quite nice. Earn a crap load of Phoenix credit. So just returning to where I am right now as of today, because this is Saturday the 19th, and this probably was recorded maybe 2 or 3, 4 days ago. So where I am today is I found a few things in the Dark Zone, but I think most of the golds I've got have actually come from missions and come from crafting. So using Phoenix credits to buy the blueprints has been a good idea. I've completely re-engineered my character as well, and I don't know if I show this at this video, probably not, but so I'm now pretty much a glass cannon. So all of the stuff we put into health has now been put into firepower, because you just need it with these characters, otherwise you're just shooting continually at them, and it can get quite annoying, as we almost died to a grenade. As shoot them in the backpack. Oh, come on, I love it when the backpack goes. Every character, more or less, has something you can shoot that will make them explode or burn in a funny way. There we go, look at that, his backpack's exploded. It's shooting him from behind. And there we go. So pretty much that's the mission done. Now what we got from that was obviously Phoenix credit. So we got 50 Phoenix credit for that. We also got, oh look, I got a yellow backpack as well. So we got a rush backpack. You get your Phoenix credits, you get your Brucey bonuses, and as Booker would say, and pretty much you get a hell of a mission. I hope you enjoyed that. We will see you next time.